Chapter 321, Black Tortoise vs. Wukong. The black tortoise, known as the god of the north, possessed a body of a tortoise, a tail of a snake, and a head of a dragon. In contrast, Sun Wukong, a heart monkey who had achieved the Tao, was notorious for his extreme violence and unruliness. Both of them were esteemed divine creatures with comparable reputation and strength. As Feng Lin and Zhao Yui clashed, their intense battle burned with strong determination, akin to Mars colliding with Earth. The black tortoise hovered in the air, emitting ceaseless roars as waves surged and cold currents swept through the surroundings. With furious force, the violent monkey's fists hammered violently, displaying brutal and bloodthirsty tendencies. Feng Lin's agile figure darted around Zhao Yui, strategically targeting her vulnerable spots with precise punches. Unyielding, Zhao Yui stood her ground, neither moving nor evading. She gracefully drew circles in front of her body with her hands, one embodying yin, the other yang, one exhibiting softness, the other strength. Together, they formed an invisible circle that encompassed her, making it difficult to dislodge her from her position. Though flowing water has no fixed form and perpetually changes, when it accumulates formidable strength, ordinary individuals are unable to budge it. The battle between the black tortoise and Wukong lingered, with neither emerging as the clear victor. With each move, such as the malicious tiger hunt, swift leopard lunge, and immortal crane soar, Feng Lin's techniques continually shifted, combining elements of violence, brutality, and elusiveness. However, whenever his strikes met Zhao Yui's forceful circle, they were swiftly blocked. Simultaneously, waves of chilling energy retaliated, only to be halted by Feng Lin's stone monkey body, incapable of penetrating even slightly. One possessed the heaviness of a tortoise and the agility of a snake, while the other was akin to an innate stone monkey, blending the agility of a monkey with the fortitude of stone. Both of these divine creatures embodied perfection. Boom! Feng Lin's and Zhao Yui's punches collided fiercely before they abruptly separated, standing motionless. A tinge of helplessness flickered in both their eyes. Silence engulfed the atmosphere, creating an awkward moment. It was evident that the black tortoise gene was unquestionably a transcendent gene of perfect grade. Feng Lin gained a glimmer of insight. Who would have thought this person could contend against Senior Zhao for such a prolonged period? One truly cannot judge a book by its cover. Although Senior Zhao only employed elite cultivator-level battle prowess, the black tortoise gene, being a perfect grade gene, has few rivals among genes of the same caliber. What could be this person's background? The students were taken aback. Feng Lin's ability to withstand Zhao Yui's blow exceeded their expectations, resulting in a battle more intense than they had imagined. Both combatants continued their assault, employing lower-level techniques executed with remarkable skill, surpassing the bounds of imagination. While Senior Zhao's prowess came as no surprise to the other students, the fact that Feng Lin could rival her was indeed peculiar. Curiosity enveloped them, prompting them to wear bewildered expressions as they pondered Feng Lin's background. Furthermore, according to Iron Pillar, Feng Lin was also a self-taught master in medicine refinement. Their expressions turned increasingly intrigued. "It's happening." Iron Pillar, the black-haired young man who had focused intently on the battlefield, suddenly exclaimed. Swoosh! 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 In an instant, all eyes were fixated on the arena. Having fought for an extended period without yielding any clear results, Feng Lin and Zhao Yui comprehended that to determine a victor, they would have to unleash their ultimate moves and settle the battle once and for all. Locked in a gaze, neither moved. Their auras intensified steadily. Their chi clashed, distorting even the fabric of space, dispersing rays of light. Zhao Yui positioned her hands before her chest, forming seals with her 10 fingers intertwined like a blossoming lotus flower. Cold water flowed forth from her fingertips. Instantly, the surrounding temperature plunged, plunging everyone into an icy cave. The moisture in the air swiftly coalesced, forming streams of frigid water. In that moment, a lifelike black tortoise materialized, its head and tail swaying. It seemed as if it had awakened from ancient times, radiating savage qi with an appearance of extreme violence and brutality. Feng Lin's expression turned solemn as he joined his fingers together, resembling a sword, and slowly pierced forward. Despite being just a finger, it exuded an absolute intent to annihilate celestial beings and gods, eradicating all life. Immortal slaying sword imprint. Feng Lin melded with the sword, transforming into a silver beam of light that shot straight toward the icy black tortoise in a flash. Roar! The black tortoise incessantly opened its colossal mouth, generating sound waves that caused the air to tremble, conjuring forth a mighty thunderstorm. It lunged towards Feng Lin, ready to bite. Everyone held their breath involuntarily. The outcome of this single attack would determine the victor. Who would emerge triumphant? Could this person truly defeat the individual hailed as the Martial Queen of Great Wall University? An inexplicable sense of anticipation enveloped them. Chi. 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 Cold light surged from the sword strike. Feng Lin surged forward, breaking through layers of barriers within the black tortoise's body. The black tortoise emitted a mournful cry, freezing momentarily before shattering from its head to its body, crumbling into fragments. A figure darted out. Though the remnant force of the sword finger had significantly weakened, it still pressed forward. Zhao Yui wore a solemn expression as she faced the attack, intertwining her 10 fingers in the lotus flower seal. Her fingers entangled the sword finger, halting its advance. Feng Lin withdrew, exhaling a turbid breath while wearing a crestfallen expression. I've lost. No, it's my loss. Zhao Yui smiled and shook her head. Feng Lin's countenance turned grave. A loss is a loss. What do you mean by this? An undeserved victory felt humiliating to him. You've misunderstood. Zhao Yui glanced at Feng Lin, understanding his thoughts. Shaking her head, she smiled and explained, I have no intention of conceding to you. This Xuanwu True Water is truly my most powerful killing move at the elite cultivator level. After executing this move, I no longer possess means of retaliation. The reason I could withstand your attack is because I employed Grand Cultivator level battle prowess. Thus, it's my loss. If we were both elite cultivators, I wouldn't stand a chance against you. She clarified, unburdened and without any intention to hide the truth. What? Can you believe it? This guy actually defeated Senior Zhao. It's unbelievable. The Martial Queen's undefeated record among peers has been shattered. This guy. The spectators' jaws dropped, leaving them at a loss for words. The more they understood the terrifying nature of Martial Queen Zhao Yui, the more they grasped the significance of this scene. Since entering Great Wall University, Zhao Yui had been underestimated by countless individuals due to her gender. Yet, she relied on her fists to reign unmatched among peers. Only geniuses with superior cultivation could barely triumph over her. However, to think that she was defeated by someone of comparable battle prowess. If news of this spread, what an uproar it would cause in Great Wall University. So, that's how it was. Feng Lin nodded, feeling a sense of relief after hearing Zhao Yui's explanation. Yet, he disagreed with her. A loss was a loss. No justification was necessary. Neither of us has lost. In a real battlefield, who would fight against you one-on-one with fairness? Feng Lin calmly stated. Zhao Yui was momentarily stunned before smiling. You're right. She recognized Feng Lin's resolute spirit and realized he wouldn't easily be swayed by others' words. I look forward to the day you become an elite adept. When that day comes, we can have another battle to determine definitively who is the stronger one between us. All right. The two of them exchanged smiles, appreciating each other's character. Both eagerly awaited the opportunity to ascertain whose mythological path would prove stronger at the same cultivation realm, Shenwu's or Wukong's. Chapter 322, My Will Becomes My Dao. Feng Lin and Zhao Yui had engaged in a fierce battle at the elite cultivator level, and they were evenly matched. Despite their intense fight, they began to develop a sense of appreciation for each other. To think they are evenly matched. He's another genius unrivaled among those of his level. Could he also be an expert in My Will Becomes My Tao? The spectators were in awe. Feng Lin was puzzled by their discussion and asked, "What does My Will Becomes My Tao mean?" He felt that understanding this concept could provide profound insights for his cultivation. My Will Becomes My Tao means that a cultivator has a resolute stance in their mythological path, possessing an unwavering will that cannot be swayed by external factors. Only those with such a mental state can fully unleash the potential of their mythological path and maximize their abilities, Zhao Yu explained softly. As an elite cultivator, you have displayed remarkable battle prowess. It seems you have tapped into the full potential of your transcendent grade gene, leading them to speculate that you follow the path of My Will Becomes My Tao. I see. Feng Lin nodded, deep in thought. Since he embarked on the Sun Wukong mythological path and overcame numerous obstacles without wavering, it was indeed possible that he followed the path of My Will Becomes My Tao. What's your name? Zhao Yui asked with enthusiasm, delighted to have found such a formidable rival. Feng Lin was taken aback. After fighting for so long, she still didn't know his name? Whom should he complain to about this? He couldn't help but find it both amusing and exasperating. However, Feng Lin didn't feel underestimated because of it. This valiant woman didn't inquire about people's backgrounds. She treated everyone as equal opponents, engaging them with equal battle prowess and enjoying the process. In a way, it was the greatest form of respect she could offer. With her pure martial Tao and unwavering passion for martial arts, the martial queen truly lived up to her name. I'm Feng Lin, he replied calmly, meeting her gaze. You're Feng Lin? Zhao Yui's eyes sparkled like stars. Are you the Feng Lin who created his own mythological path? The same Feng Lin who was falsely accused but proved his innocence by exposing the real culprit? Though Zhao Yui didn't know Feng Lin personally, she had heard his name before. Upon learning his identity, she became even more intrigued. The other spectators were equally stunned. They had heard about the dramatic events at the military tribunal, where the tables were turned, and the news had spread throughout the Great Wall University. Even those who hadn't attended the tribunal were familiar with the matter. To think that the person they had heard about was standing right before them. Feng Lin, the extraordinary individual who was unrivaled among his peers and a grandmaster of medicinal refinement. They observed Feng Lin with renewed curiosity and admiration. Yes, that's me. Feng Lin replied calmly, meeting their gaze. Amazing. Zhao Yui couldn't help but admire him. There was no hint of jealousy in her eyes. To be on par with my Jinwu Emperor mythological path, with a path of your own creation. You're truly amazing. If you continue to grow stronger and advance to higher realms, you will become an exceptional rival that's hard to come by. She looked at Feng Lin with a gaze filled with anticipation for their future battles. Witnessing this, the black-haired man and the others couldn't help but shudder. They were familiar with this feeling. Every time Zhao Yui exhibited such a gaze, it meant she had encountered a formidable opponent and couldn't resist the urge to spar. And during those times, they were the unfortunate ones who would be thoroughly beaten. Zhao Yui's gaze burned with passion, but considering Feng Lin was only an elite cultivator, her excitement waned. Iron Pillar, is Feng Lin the medicine refinement grandmaster you mentioned? The black-haired man stepped forward helplessly, exhaling deeply. He frowned and said, "Senior, can you please stop calling me Iron Pillar? It's such an unflattering nickname. But you awakened the black metal gene and practiced the 100 refinements metal fist. Plus, you look so sturdy like a pillar. What else should I call you if not Iron Pillar?" Zhao Yui examined Iron Pillar with a serious expression, causing a dissonance in her valiant appearance. Silly cuteness? Well, she's the senior, so whatever she says goes. Iron Pillar wore an expression as if he had lost all hope, and he sighed, fine. You're right. Feng Lin has created a secret technique that allows him to crystallize liquid potions, significantly enhancing their medicinal effects. It's akin to the ancient immortal pills we discovered. That's why I brought him to you as soon as I discovered this. Crystallizing potions? The crowd erupted in astonishment. What kind of secret art was this? Gene potions created through concoctions. If they could be crystallized, it would revolutionize the concept of potions. They were filled with doubt and growing curiosity about Feng Lin's secret art. Iron Pillar, with his black metal gene activated, opened his identity microchip and played a video recording. The images of Feng Lin concocting the Xiantian potion unfolded before everyone without a single mistake. From the very beginning, Feng Lin displayed extraordinary skills, his actions flowing smoothly like clouds and water, captivating their attention. He swiftly created the medicine and proceeded to crystallize it. Under the scorching flames, the potion was repeatedly heated, undergoing a mysterious reaction. Crack. The crystallized medicine disintegrated into dust. But on the third attempt, the process was successful, resulting in a glowing purple jadeite medicinal crystal. It appeared extraordinary. Iron Pillar, how effective is this potion crystal? The crowd asked anxiously, noticing Iron Pillar, who was known for his strong physique, displaying an abnormal state after consuming the crystal. How should I put it? Iron Pillar furrowed his brow, deep in thought, trying to recall the sensation. When the medicinal liquid crystallizes, its medicinal potency increases by at least threefold. Moreover, it doesn't unleash its full force all at once but steadily permeates the body, penetrating deeply. Its effects also last 3 times longer. That's incredible. To think that a simple additional step could yield such astonishing results. Unbelievable. If they didn't know that Iron Pillar was always straightforward and not inclined to lie, they would have assumed he was boasting. They now regarded Feng Lin with a different gaze, moving from doubt, admiration, and curiosity to deep respect. The Great Wall University was one of the top 10 universities in the universe, attracting students from various backgrounds. Each student had a noble lineage and exceptional talents. But here, identities, backgrounds, and talent were irrelevant. Only those with true capabilities would be acknowledged. Although Feng Lin had demonstrated unrivaled skills among his peers, he was still an elite cultivator. While they admired him, they didn't hold him in too high regard. However, the situation had changed. Genetic pharmacists created mysterious genetic potions that greatly accelerated cultivation speed. Anyone who could become a renowned grandmaster of medicinal refinement would be highly sought after. With such refined skills, Feng Lin's cultivation realm no longer mattered. You're also a grandmaster of medicinal refinement? Zhao Yui asked curiously. I'm not, Feng Lin shook his head. A grandmaster is someone who surpasses high-grade medical refiners. My skill in medicinal refinement is currently at the level of a mid-grade medical refiner. However, I have developed a unique technique. Although he sounded modest, he thought to himself, that's if we don't consider alchemy. Feng Lin was confident that if alchemy were taken into account, even those grandmasters would pale in comparison. You're being too modest. Zhao Yu exclaimed. Feng Lin, please help us decipher this ancient immortal pill recipe. It's of utmost importance to us. If you succeed, I won't treat you poorly. In addition to 50,000 contribution points, there will be other rewards. Zhao Yui approached Feng Lin with sincerity. No need to worry. Since I've accepted this mission, I will give it my all. Great. Zhao Yui smiled as she tapped her finger, sending a message through her identity microchip. Feng Lin noticed an ancient pill recipe, written in oracle bone script, appearing before him. Dustfall Immortal Pill. Chapter 323, Dustfall Immortal Pill. The oracle bone script was an ancient writing system used by the ancestors of the Huaxia people on Earth. It involved inscribing characters onto tortoise plastrons and dragon bones, which were believed to possess the ability to communicate with the heavens and hold profound secrets. However, over time, the knowledge and usage of oracle bone script had been lost, and it remained as a mysterious ancient script. The ancient medicine recipe Feng Lin encountered was inscribed on a large thigh bone, preserved through the oracle bone script. It made him wonder what creature this bone belonged to when it was still alive. The pill recipe itself was ancient, surpassing any known historical records. It described a pill called the Dustfall Immortal Pill. According to the recipe, the human body was originally pure, formed from the purest blood and qi. However, once humans came into contact with the mortal world, they became tainted by the posterior auras, the endless dust and dirt of the world. The Dustfall Immortal Pill's purpose was to cleanse the impurities within the human body, restoring it to its original state of pure blood and qi. It was as if one's body could return to a state similar to that of a baby. The path to the Great Tao was profound and mysterious, and the Dustfall Immortal Pill held profoundness within its recipe. But what exactly was an immortal pill? Based on the knowledge Feng Lin obtained from the Furnace Immortal sect, there were generally 3 types of alchemy pills: spiritual pills, immortal pills, and divine pills. Spiritual pills were the lowest tier alchemy pills, possessing spiritual qualities upon refinement. Depending on the level of impurities and their medicinal effects, they were further categorized into top grade, mid grade, low grade, flawless, perfect supreme grade, and transcendent grade. Divine pills were too distant to be reached, and discussing them was unnecessary. Immortal pills were not pills that instantly granted immortality upon consumption. Instead, they set individuals on the path to immortality, with the hope of achieving immortality in the future. Consuming the Dustfall Immortal Pill would enable one to regain their innate body, undergoing a complete transformation and attaining the immortal bones and Tao body. It would greatly enhance cultivation speed and efficiency. The name, Immortal Pill, was well-deserved. Even if Feng Lin failed to complete the mission, obtaining the Dustfall Immortal Pill's recipe was already a great gain. As Feng Lin examined the ancient bone, he noticed a peculiar scene. The bone seemed deeply embedded in the ground, with only a small portion exposed. The surroundings were enveloped in darkness, resembling an ancient primordial scene before the formation of the universe. It confirmed Feng Lin's earlier assessment that Zhao Yui had indeed discovered a relic from a myth or legend. Zhao Yui asked Feng Lin, "Well, can you replicate the ancient medicine recipe?" The method of concocting this ancient medicine is similar to my crystallized medicine creation. I can give it a try, Feng Lin replied without making any absolute promises. In truth, his crystallized medicine creation was a simplified form of alchemy, so his statement wasn't entirely incorrect. Zhao Yui and the others didn't think too much about his response. If it were easy to replicate such deep and profound ancient alchemy, it would be suspicious. If Feng Lin had confidently assured them of success, they would likely doubt him. The way he expressed himself actually made him more trustworthy. "Don't worry, I understand. Since I've accepted the mission, I will maintain my integrity," Feng Lin assured them. He received the materials from Iron Pillar and said, "The process of refining this Dustfall Immortal Pill requires the use of my secret technique. It's not suitable for outsiders to observe. Regardless of the outcome, I will give you a reply in 3 days." With that, he nodded to Zhao Yui and the others and left. Zhao Yui felt that Feng Lin's decision was reasonable. The technique of medicinal refinement was the absolute secret of medicinal refinement masters and couldn't be displayed in public. As Feng Lin departed, Iron Pillar asked with a serious tone, "Senior, is this really okay? The ingredients for the Dustfall Immortal Pill are extremely rare. Isn't it too costly to provide 10 sets of them at once? We've only managed to gather this much. It seems risky to place all our eggs in one basket." "Don't worry, I have my own considerations," Zhao Yui replied confidently. I've seen the initial form of alchemy in Feng Lin's crystallized medicine creation technique. He might have gained inspiration from the process of refining gene potions, which could explain his attempt to replicate ancient alchemy. If he can't do it, it's unlikely that others will succeed. So, we have no choice but to place our trust in him. Iron Pillar couldn't help but sigh helplessly. Senior, you trust others too easily. He shifted his gaze to Feng Lin's retreating figure, thinking, Feng Lin, I hope you won't disappoint Senior Zhao's trust. In truth, regardless of whether others trusted him or not, Feng Lin was determined to put forth his best effort in refining the Dustfall Immortal Pill. He had no intention of taking the task lightly. One should always give their best when entrusted with a task. Moreover, on a deeper level, Feng Lin saw this opportunity as a way to establish a connection with Zhao Yui and the others, allowing him to explore the mythological secret realm. The Great Wall University had deep backgrounds and numerous experts. At his current cultivation level as an elite cultivator, his battle prowess was far from sufficient. If he wanted to make rapid progress, the easiest way was to seek fortunate encounters. Exploring the mythological secret realms was the greatest fortunate encounter one could hope for. The ancient alchemy pills and treasures contained within would be immensely beneficial, even obtaining just one of them. Returning to his residence, Feng Lin sat cross-legged on the floor and began to recover his depleted energy. Once fully recovered, he swiftly went through the process in his mind, memorizing the Dustfall Immortal Pill's recipe and visualizing the steps repeatedly until he could perform them flawlessly. Boom! A furnace materialized in his palm and landed on the ground. Feng Lin ignited the flames, and the temperature rose rapidly. Shooting star grass, unwithered epiphyllum, horned serpent sinew. Mystical medicinal grass shining like stars, resplendent golden flowers, translucent sinews as sturdy as metal. He added the first 3 medicinal ingredients at once, and the roaring flames instantly turned them into a gel-like substance. Feng Lin retrieved a set of medicinal ingredients and began the refinement process, devoting his full attention to it. He carefully sensed every subtle change and controlled them with precision, aiming to maximize the medicinal efficacy. Spirit Jade Powder, 1 element frigid water, 10,000-year root. As the refinement process neared completion, he continued to temper and add more ingredients. The flames burned fiercely in the furnace, and 3 pools of medicinal liquid condensed, floating in the air, gradually merging into one. However, for some reason, whenever they approached each other, a powerful repulsive force prevented them from combining. Even when external force was applied to push them together, they remained incongruous and resisted blending their medicinal effects. Feng Lin increased the flames, but it was futile. Eventually, the medicinal liquid evaporated completely, turning into smoke and dissipating. Perplexed, Feng Lin pondered deeply and finally gained some comprehension. Alchemy pills couldn't be refined with ordinary flames. Chapter 324, Xiantian Dao Body. A golden pill was swallowed into my stomach, only then can I plant a golden lotus. Why gold? Because true gold fears no fire. The significance of gold extended far beyond its literal meaning. In cultivation, it represented the unity of chaos, indestructibility, and immortality. Whether it was the golden pill of Taoism or the golden body of Buddhism, the essence remained the same. To concoct a golden pill, mortal fire alone would not suffice. It required the use of true fire. Mortal fire, regardless of its variations in temperature, lacked the mythical properties of true fire. True fire possessed unique qualities due to its origin from the essence of heaven and earth. There was the constellation True Fire, gathering the radiance of stars in flames capable of purifying beings and restoring their original forms. There was the Earth Fiend True Fire, embodying a bitter chill and candle-like flames, refining treasures and enhancing killing prowess. There was the 9 Revolutions Thunderfire, the mighty force of nature itself. Lightning baptized and fire destroyed, eliminating impurities and leaving behind pure ceramic-like bodies. True fire possessed the essence, nature, and energy of fire, encompassing the power of heaven and earth. This was the essence of a true fire. Different types of true fire possessed distinct abilities, but they all derived from the essence of heaven and earth and were extremely rare. Only true fire could refine an immortal pill. Feng Lin realized that using mortal fire alone was insufficient to merge the medicinal properties into a cohesive alchemy pill. After cleaning the remnants of medicine from his furnace, Feng Lin contemplated the issue. This was an aspect he had neglected in the past. Crystallized medicine creation was the most basic form of alchemy, requiring less precise control over fire. However, true alchemy demanded more than mortal fire. Without the aid of true fire, the medicinal effects couldn't merge seamlessly to create an alchemy pill. Although Feng Lin knew the Dustfall Immortal Pill's concoction method, he couldn't proceed without the appropriate equipment. Without true fire, even if he understood the procedures, he couldn't refine the pill. But he wasn't prepared to give up easily. Failure to refine the pill or return the remaining ingredients would complicate matters for him. Even if Zhao Yui and the others didn't make things difficult, he would lose the opportunity to work with them or explore the mythological secret realm. That was not what Feng Lin desired. Even if he couldn't refine an immortal pill, a semi-finished product would still be valuable. The crystallization medicine creation technique combined potion concoction and alchemy, surpassing potions but falling short of alchemy. Considering this critical point, Feng Lin developed a new approach. To simplify the Dustfall Immortal Pill, he needed to follow two steps: water refinement and fire evaporation. Water refinement referred to using genetic medicinal refinement techniques to convert the ingredients into potions. Fire evaporation involved using heat to refine and condense the potions into crystallized form. This method wouldn't concentrate the medicinal potency completely, and some potency would be lost in the process. However, even with substantial potency loss, a semi-finished alchemy product surpassed other potions. Having a semi-finished product was better than nothing at all. Although the steps sounded simple, they were challenging to execute. Feng Lin pondered and came to a conclusion, his thoughts racing. A shooting star grass as bright as a star appeared before him. Swiftly, it was ground into powder by a flash of light. Since he couldn't refine the medicinal potency in his furnace, he resorted to physically crushing the ingredients. Unwithered epiphyllum, horned serpent sinew, 10,000-year root. He ground all the original ingredients into powder and mixed them into a solution, allowing them to fuse together. The solution underwent subtle reactions, gradually turning amber and emitting a potent medicinal fragrance. Crystallized concoction. Feng Lin operated, using his spirit force to control the fire's strength. The flames blazed intensely, evaporating the liquid solution and crystallizing the potion. He guided the microscopic particles with his spirit force, controlling their convergence. This mortal fire could only forcefully fuse the medicinal properties together. It lacked the miraculous effects of true fire, preventing the medicinal potency from undergoing profound changes and enabling complete transformation. Given his current cultivation level and lack of true fire, Feng Lin could only go this far. He focused on the task, intensifying the fire to forcefully merge the medicinal properties. Gradually, a green jadeite crystal formed, radiating brilliance and life energy. With a single whiff, Feng Lin felt complete rejuvenation throughout his body. He was uncertain of the effects if he were to consume it. Judging from the luster, the crystallized Dustfall Immortal Pill, even in its simplified form, should possess a remarkable medicinal effect, at least at the high martial perfect grade. Crack. Just as the jadeite was about to fully form, it shattered, turning into a pile of powder. Failure was expected in the first attempt to crystallize different genetic potions. Feng Lin remained undeterred and continued his attempts. After wasting 4 portions of ingredients, he successfully refined 6 sparkling jade green crystals from the remaining 6 portions. A success rate of 6 out of 10 was extraordinary. If this were known, many would be filled with greed. Feng Lin kept 3 crystals for himself, treating them as part of his concoction fee. He felt no guilt. No one else possessed knowledge of alchemy, making it nearly impossible for them to replicate the Dustfall Immortal Pill. These ingredients would go to waste if others attempted to refine them. By giving Zhao Yui and the others 3 portions, Feng Lin had already surprised them. Human hearts were inherently greedy. Giving them too much might have the opposite effect. Feng Lin wondered about the Dustfall Immortal Pill's effects, and his curiosity grew. As an immortal pill, its effects must be extraordinary. Even in its simplified form, the medicinal effects surpassed other potions. Decisively, Feng Lin swallowed 1 crystal. Instantly, he felt like a supernova had exploded inside him. The moment the medicinal crystal entered his stomach, it erupted into a surge of warmth that penetrated his body. His pores opened, expelling countless black particles with a fishy odor. A gentle spiritual qi reverberated within his body, reminiscent of the prenatal qi from his mother's womb. It purified his tainted postnatal body, returning it to its original state. His flesh and blood transformed back into a Xiantian, prenatal, body, bringing him closer to the great Tao. In ancient cultivation, this type of body was known as the Xiantian Tao body, highly suitable for cultivation. Genetic potential plus 3.6, plus 3.6, plus 3.6. Feng Lin received 2 transcendent genetic points and promptly allocated them to his Beast King gene. Vitality stat plus 10, plus 12, plus 12.6. The power of the Xiantian Tao body caused his vitality stats to surge beyond the limits of an elite cultivator. His life information underwent a change. Name, Feng Lin. Vitality stat, 1236. Transcendent genes, Spiritual Stone Monkey Gene X10, Beast King Gene X5. Primeval genes. Basic genes. Genetic potential, 86.8. Chapter 325, Obtaining the Contribution Points. The great limit of the elite cultivator's vitality was 1,000 points. How did he break past it so easily? After seeing the result, Feng Lin couldn't help being astonished. For every cultivation realm, there was a natural limit for one's vitality stat. Even if he was walking on Sun Wukong mythological path, it would be exceedingly difficult if he wished to break the limit. Back then when he had been an interstellar cultivator, in order to break through the greater limit of 100 points, he had used all methods he could think of and even entered a secret realm of Japan before he succeeded. But now, he didn't do anything, yet he had broken through a greater limit of an elite cultivator. That was supposedly countless times more difficult to break through compared to the one of interstellar cultivators? No, it wasn't that he did nothing. Feng Lin pondered slightly and understood the reason behind it. As expected of the Dustfall Immortal Pill. Although it was just the simplified version, just consuming it allowed Feng Lin to gain a Xiantian Dao body and break through the limits of his previous body. The medicinal potency of the Dustfall medicine crystal was simply too powerful, exceeding his expectations. If he took out 3 godlike medicines such as this, it would still be too dazzling. After contemplating a little, Feng Lin decided to only give 2 pills to Zhao Yui and the others. He carefully kept the 3 pills he took. He definitely couldn't expose that he had them or he would face endless troubles. Only after an appropriate amount of time had passed did Feng Lin contact Zhao Yui and the others. He then headed toward the agreed meeting point. When he reached there, those people were already there. This is the Dustfall Immortal Pill you restored? Why is it in a crystal form? It is different from the perfectly round shape of ancient medicine, and its divine glow was supposed to be completely retracted. This is clearly not the case. After Feng Lin took out the 2 Dustfall crystals, the black-haired young man, Iron Pillar, glanced at them with unsightly expressions. They paid such a great price and finally managed to get 10 portions of the ingredients for Feng Lin. All of this was because they hoped he would be able to restore the ancient medicine. But now, the things Feng Lin took out were clearly 2 crystallized genetic potions. Even if the genetic potions were crystallized, they were ultimately still genetic potions. It wasn't the ancient medicine they wanted. Staring at their unsightly expressions, Feng Lin calmly spoke, "Alchemy is a secret art that has been lost for countless years. Who can perfectly restore the ancient medicine? I can only use my crystallization medicine creation technique to conduct some remodeling, maintaining 50% of its original medicinal potency." He was extremely confident about this point. After all, the crystallization medicine creation technique was something that had the essence of alchemy within. No matter how much medicinal potency was lost, he could guarantee to retain at least 50% of the original product. And as expected, when the people heard this, they all had looks of shock on their faces. These crystals actually maintain 50% of the original medicinal potency? Incredible. Although these medicinal crystals cannot be compared to the original Dustfall Immortal Pill, they have already far exceeded the ancient medicine we excavated out. How did you accomplish this? The attitudes of everyone instantly changed. Feng Lin smiled but didn't say anything. He naturally wouldn't leak his own secrets. He passed the 2 sealed medicinal crystals to them. Zhao Yui curiously received them. She placed them before her eyes and started to seriously survey the crystals. All of a sudden, her finger flicked and threw one of the medicinal crystals into her mouth, swallowing it. Senior sister. Iron Pillar instantly got anxious when he saw this. The medicinal effect of this crystal hadn't been tested yet. How could Zhao Yui consume one so easily? Don't worry. Zhao Yui had a smile on her face. I know what I'm doing. She sat cross-legged and actually floated in midair. Waves of energy fluctuations could be felt. Some were as cold as ice yet as hot as a blazing fire. This was the medicinal potency unleashing itself. It kept bursting out, yet she suppressed it again and again. Zhao Yui's aura began to expand at a rate visible to the naked eye, becoming something corporeal. The pressure she exuded was as heavy as a mountain, so great that the surrounding air was being compressed. Feng Lin's eyes narrowed. Only now did he understand how fearsome her true combat strength was. It simply surpassed his estimation. When they had fought, she basically hadn't taken him seriously or he wouldn't have been able to receive more than 3 of her blows. One must know that Zhao Yui was at the Adept realm, 2 entire realms higher than Feng Lin. This also meant that her vitality stat had already broken past 10,000. Even though Feng Lin had broken through his current vitality stats limit and could be comparable to Grand Cultivators, his vitality stat had only broken past 1,000. There was about a 10 times difference when he compared himself to Zhao Yui. Under this pressure, Feng Lin felt like there was a towering giant before him. He felt as tiny as an ant as the disparity in strength was simply too great. Her aura gushed out, forming visible waves of energy. The compressed air grew heavier, causing everyone here to find it difficult to breathe. These people weren't able to withstand such a powerful aura and all decided to retreat. Feng Lin was no exception. After consuming the Dustfall Immortal Pill, all of Zhao Yui's potential completely erupted forth. Her aura was like the deep abyss filled with sinister killing intent, radiating a biting chill that wanted to freeze everything in the heavens and earth. Creak, creak. Feng Lin discovered to his astonishment that the surface of the ground started to freeze. This extreme chill caused the moisture in the air to rapidly freeze. When they fell onto her, they made it seem like she resembled a divine statue of a frost goddess. An ancient deity descended to the mortal world, stepping on a black tortoise with a long sword in her hand. Her figure was lanky and she had a solemn expression. It was the image of Zhao Yui herself. Xinwu Law image. Boundless divine might radiated from her, causing everyone not to dare directly stare at her. Feng Lin's eyes involuntarily narrowed. The chill was extremely overbearing, forcing him to retreat. However, his sharp senses told him that this image was just illusory, it wasn't the true Xinwu Law image. Iron Pillar and the others had looks of awe in their eyes, excitement could also be seen on their faces. The Xinwu divine statue continued to become corporeal. It looked increasingly real, appearing from the void, but it still contained a hint of illusory feel. But in the end, she still failed her breakthrough. Zhao Yui drew in a deep breath and stopped. Senior sister, what's wrong? Have you broken through to the elite adept level? Iron Pillar saw that something was wrong and couldn't help but ask. Not yet. Zhao Yui shook her head. Although the medicinal crystal retained 50% of the medicinal potency, it's still very inferior when compared to the real ancient medicine. It can't aid me in breaking through. Why don't you consume the second medicinal crystal too? Asked Iron Pillar. It's useless, Zhao Yui replied. This is a disparity in terms of its base quality. It cannot be mitigated simply by consuming more of the medicinal crystals. Unless I can obtain the true Dustfall Immortal Pill, I can only depend on my own efforts to slowly grow stronger and breaking through to the elite adept realm. Things were troublesome then. Everyone didn't know what to do. They expended so much effort and only found a person like Feng Lin. Although he only managed to retain 50% of the ancient medicine's medicinal potency, this was something others couldn't do. Medicinal refinement depended too much on one's talent. Ordinary people wouldn't be able to comprehend it. Although everyone here wasn't nameless individuals and had large amounts of cultivation resources at their disposal, they weren't able to think of any good idea. There might be a way. At this moment, Feng Lin calmly stated. What? Numerous gazes instantly turned to Feng Lin, the tone of their voices was extremely impatient. Feng Lin continued, according to my research, other than the proficiency in alchemy, the assistance of a true fire is also needed. Only with the power of a true fire can I smoothly merge the medicinal properties of the various ingredients, achieving a state of union between yin and yang and mixing water and fire to form a golden pill. All these are things impossible to achieve with the usage of mortal fire. Oh. Zhao Yui nodded slightly as she started to contemplate. All of a sudden, she seemed to have made a decision. She pointed her finger at her microchip ID and sent a message. Contribution points plus 50,000. All of a sudden, Feng Lin discovered that his bank account at the Great Wall University had suddenly increased by 50,000 contribution points. The reward for this mission was given to him in advance. Feng Lin was bewildered. You managed to restore 50% of the Dustfall Immortal Pill's medicinal potency and can be said to have accomplished your mission. This is the reward you ought to receive. Zhao Yui smiled. She then continued, Feng Lin, next we would have to trouble you to go with us to explore the mythological secret realm. How about it? Over there, you might be able to find the true fire you wanted. Chapter 326, Looking at Someone in a Different Light. No way. How can that be done? Senior sister, please consider this again. The mythological secret realm is the greatest secret of our martial essence society. This Feng Lin is just an outsider, how can we allow him to enter the secret realm so easily? After Zhao Yui spoke, the people in the surroundings were greatly shocked. They ignored the fact that Feng Lin was present and began to object with loud voices, feeling that they had no way to accept this. Yet, Zhao Yui wasn't flustered. She asked Iron Pillar, what do you think? I feel we should bring him along. Contrary to everyone's expectations, Iron Pillar actually agreed. What? These people didn't dare to believe what they just heard. They knew that Iron Pillar was someone who had the strongest amount of wariness in his heart. How could he agree to such an audacious thought by their senior sister? They didn't understand. I'm concerning myself with fact and not the individual. Iron Pillar shook his head. This mythological secret realm contains countless secrets, and there are opportunities everywhere. If we bring him along, we might really be able to find a source of true fire. With a true fire, the Dustfall Immortal Pill would be perfectly restored and Senior Sister Zhao would also be able to make use of this to break through to the elite adept realm. This is the most important thing right now. Only then can our martial essence society expand and grow stronger in the Great Wall University. You must know that the competition is incomparably intense within the school. Our society just recently flourished. Although senior sister managed to obtain the #1 ranking on the moon level board, as long as we don't have an elite adept cultivator as our leader, we would always be inferior to those peak powers in the school. Our foundations would be too weak. As a small society, we cannot be too reserved. Only by acting boldly would we have the hope to catch up to the other powers. Not bad, these are my thoughts as well. Zhao Yue nodded. Upon seeing the two doyens of their society agree, although those people still felt reluctant, they could only temporarily endure this. It was just that their emotions were plain on their faces. The slot to enter the mythological secret realm was limited and exceedingly valuable. Senior sister Zhao only managed to grab a few name slots from the other large society, but now, they had to give up one of the slots for this Feng Lin? How could these people not feel reluctant? They silently blamed themselves for being helpless, unable to aid their senior sister. They weren't even able to compare to an elite cultivator. They silently determined that they would surely work even harder. There would be a day where they could help their senior sister to expand the society, causing the Martial Essence Society to become the #1 society in the Great Wall University. Since there are no objections, this matter is settled then. 5 days later, when exploring the mythological secret realm, I will bring Feng Lin and Iron Pillar with me, said Zhao Yue. Everyone could only nod helplessly. Feng Lin lowered his face, but he felt joy in his heart. No matter what, he finally obtained the qualifications to enter the mythological secret realm. The 5 days passed in the blink of an eye. Feng Lin, Zhao Yue, and Iron Pillar gathered together. From their location, they could already see a ring-shaped flying shuttle resting on the top of the fixed star fortress. It seemed to have been waiting there for a long time. Near the flying shuttle, the 4 other teams stood together, each consisted of 3 members. Who is this? When Feng Lin appeared, he instantly drew judgmental looks from others. A golden-haired man with a sharp gaze stared at Feng Lin like he wanted to pierce him through. Zhao Yue, are your actions not too over the top? We stated clearly before that the mythological secret realm is a secret shared by our 5 societies, and we cannot leak this to others. Why did you bring an outsider? He asked in an overbearing tone. This is Feng Lin, he is a medicinal refinement master and has created his own medicinal refinement technique. He managed to restore 50% of an ancient immortal pill, said Zhao Yue calmly. She then continued, given his ability, he would be able to help us in the mythological secret realm. Oomph, restoring ancient immortal pills with his capabilities, the golden-haired man spoke with contempt. He glanced at Feng Lin, there was a look of disbelief on his face. An elite cultivator could restore an ancient immortal pill? Who was she lying to? The other 3 team captains also spoke out, feeling extremely unhappy. That's right, Zhao Yue, you best not weave nonsensical lies. The slots to enter the mythological secret realm are limited. If you don't want to use it properly, you can give it to us. There's no need to come up with such a ridiculous reason and waste a proper slot. That's right. Although I don't know what transaction you have with this brat, not everyone can be qualified enough to use one of the slots for entering the secret realm. The auras of these 4 captains were extremely terrifying, actually not in any way inferior to Zhao Yue. Zhao Yue was already the #1 expert among the adept level. However, the cultivation bases of these people might already be in the elite adept realm, hence, they didn't fear her at all. Numerous gazes turned to Feng Lin, flickering with disdain. Their words clearly exhibited their feelings for him. Feng Lin remained unmoved. It was like these people weren't talking about him. Now, he was together with Zhao Yue, she had to step out and take charge of this matter. Zhao Yue was the leader. If he stepped out now and rebutted these people, the outcome would surely be even more negative. If this Zhao Yue chose to evade upon facing difficulties, Feng Lin would have to consider whether it would be a good decision to stick with her. If not, he might be cheated even before he knew what had happened. Luckily, Zhao Yui didn't disappoint him. She soon took her stance. After all, Feng Lin was someone she brought here. How could she allow others to vilify him casually? She stretched her hand out, revealing a medicinal crystal that radiated a mystical light. The moment she took that out, the attention of everyone turned to it, drawn within the crystal. The cultivation bases of everyone here weren't weak. They could clearly sense the vast amount of medicinal potency within the crystal. By just sniffing a whiff of its fragrance, their genetic force began to churn with excitement. This is... Their gazes were filled with astonishment. How much are you selling this? I'm willing to pay 5,000 contribution points. Sell it to me. You have the face to even mention 5,000? I will pay 10,000. I will pay 20,000. Earlier, they were still filled with disbelief. But now, they were on the verge of fighting each other to buy this medicinal crystal. Being able to become an elite adept meant that they knew the number of medicinal substances that could affect them was extremely limited. Thus, the moment this medicinal crystal appeared, they weren't able to control their eagerness. I'm sorry, this is not for sale. Zhao Yui retracted her hand. The medicinal crystal in her hand disappeared in a flash, causing the hearts of everyone to be filled with itch. She pointed to Feng Lin and calmly spoke, right now, I only have a single dustfall medicinal crystal. How can I sell it to you all? But the person who refined it is here today. If you all want to buy this, why don't you all look for him? Everyone silently pondered, her words made sense. Their gazes began to fill with a fervent look as they stared at Feng Lin. Feng Lin, who was a poor and insignificant brat in their eyes, suddenly became an extremely important person. He is the one who refined this dustfall medicinal crystal. Zhao Yui had a teasing smile on her face. Now, do any of you still doubt his qualifications to enter the mythological secret realm? We were just kidding. They laughed. When they stared at Feng Lin again, all of them looked at him in a new light. Even their breathing changed. Master, do you have more of these medicinal crystals? Can you sell me one? How about 10,000 points for one? I will buy all you want to sell. I will pay 20,000 for one. They continued to increase the stakes, competing with each other frenziedly, causing Feng Lin to roll his eyes. However, this was a pretty good way to become wealthy. He was very clear why Zhao Yui was doing this. She wanted to help him expand his fame. If his fame as a medicinal refinement master spread, he wouldn't have to worry about not having enough contribution points in the future. But due to rationality, Feng Lin didn't hastily accept all these purchasing requests. He still had 3 of the dustfall medicinal crystals with him. However, if he took them out now, his secret might be revealed. It's better to keep a low profile. However, this was such a good opportunity to get contribution points, he didn't want to waste it. After pondering, Feng Lin spoke, I apologize. I only managed to refine 2 dustfall medicinal crystals. Now, I don't have any stock left. If you all want some, you have to provide me with the ingredients. I can only assure that I can refine 2 medicinal crystals out of 10 portions of ingredients. For each successfully concocted medicinal crystal, you all have to pay me 10,000 contribution points as the concoction fee. Are you all willing? All right, it's settled then. I agree. This is good. Despite such harsh conditions, everyone actually accepted it, which was contrary to his expectations. They didn't hesitate at all. After all, no matter how valuable medicinal ingredients were, if they were not refined into genetic potions, they were nothing but trash. If someone could transform the ingredients into a semi-finished immortal pill, the buyer would actually profit from it. What a bunch of future wealthy clients these people were. Feng Lin discovered that he had underestimated the temptation of the dustfall medicinal crystals to these people. Master, please board the shuttle. Their attitudes became incomparably respectful, welcoming Feng Lin, Zhao Yui an iron pillar onto the flying shuttle. Those with true capabilities would always be respected no matter where they went. The flying shuttle soon took off, transforming into a beam of light that shot into the dark outer space, vanishing in the blink of an eye. Chapter 327, Ruins of Darkness. Darkness, the void, coldness. There were no sounds at all, it was deathly stillness everywhere. The flying shuttle was flying toward the direction leading to the exit of the Milky Way galaxy. That place was already considered a place outside of humanity's star region. Between galaxies, there might be a distance of 100 of millions of light years, and between them, only regions of darkness could be found. There was only cosmic dust and no fixed stars to provide light. The region was shrouded in complete darkness. One must note that in the universe, there wasn't up or down, beginning or end. Simply said, there was no such things as directions. The flying shuttle proceeded forward. It would be very easy for it to lose its way if it were not for the Great Wall University behind them radiating light. After a while, they entered a stretch of star rivers that were like lamps of the universe, illuminating the way back for travelers. A ring-shaped flying shuttle shot through space, entering the automatic pilot mode. The people of the 5 teams respectively rested in their rooms. There was a variety of facilities on the shuttle, including all sorts of entertainment measures. Some of them entered the virtual universe to play games, some were watching the latest movie. All of them found their own entertainment and didn't disturb the others. As for Feng Lin, he stayed in his room alone to cultivate. The effect of the dustfall medicinal crystal was extremely great. It was even effective for adepts and elite adepts. After Feng Lin consumed one, he could still feel a large amount of medicinal potency stored within his body, not fully digested yet. He rapidly began to cultivate. Genetic potential plus 1.6, plus 1.6, plus 1.6. He actually soon received another free transcendent genetic point, allowing him to upgrade his Beast King gene to 6 points. However, he merely thought about it but didn't act immediately. In a mythological secret realm, there would be all sorts of danger. He wanted to save a free genetic point just in case. His Beast King gene recently was strengthened to 5 points and he didn't need to rush. Moreover, he still needed time to get used to his increased vitality stats. After breaking through the greater limit of 1000 for elite cultivators, the human body would grow stronger rapidly. It was a must to strengthen one's foundation and grow used to it. Feng Lin instantly started to practice his techniques. His energy gathered and his punches were like thunder, blasting explosively outwards. His body could transform into a myriad number of forms. He was like a leaping ape, a rushing tiger, a biting wolf. The forms of 100 beasts fully unleashed the greatest prowess of the beast-like fist art. It was incomparably ferocious, the entire space was shaking as howls of beasts could be heard. Bang, bang, bang. Holes appeared on the alloyed walls of his room due to the impact. His chi and blood was burning like fire yet flowing like water, as agile as wood, as heavy as the earth and even as tenacious as metal. Feng Lin suddenly felt that his body had reached a mystical realm that included many aspects, with the wondrous 5 elements incorporated within. With a loud boom, an invisible wave of might radiated out, causing the myriad beasts of the world to submit, not daring to resist. With every move and stance, he gradually fused them perfectly and was as one with them, making them become instinctive reactions of his body. In the blink of an eye, 3 days passed. Today, when he was cultivating, the sound of the AI rang out. We have arrived at our targeted location. Feng Lin went to wash up before he went out. Without realizing it, the flying shuttle had already exited the wormhole and was now floating in space, fixed in this location. Zhao Yui and the others gathered, staring at the scene outside the window. Feng Lin glanced over and could see countless extremely large meteorites floating in space, flying chaotically in random directions. The flying shuttle was like an ordinary stone, casually floating there, not knowing where to land. Is this place the mythological secret realm? It didn't seem to be so. Isn't this just a ruin in the universe that's covered in darkness? Feng Lin felt puzzled. The meteorites were as big as mountains and lined up like a maze. If one didn't pay attention, they would surely be lost here. The shuttle's AI began a large-scale scan. On the map, points of light showed up. D. Discovering unknown objects. The AI's warning voice rang out, attracting the attention of everyone. Feng Lin and the others glanced over and saw a strange shape as thick as a pillar on the map. Yet, the lower portion of this object was split into 5 bifurcations. It was abnormally sharp and seemed to be a claw. Very soon, the holographic image showed up as a result of the scan. It was a meteorite as thick and large as a pillar. Feng Lin had a puzzled look on his face. This meteorite truly looked the same as a claw. In outer space, in a vacuum state, these objects wouldn't be corroded and would maintain their original forms. This claw was over tens of thousands of meters long, floating in space. Despite it being a dead object, a thick and intense baleful aura gushed forth from it. Good treasure. Let's harvest it. The golden-haired young man who was the captain of one of the teams instantly grew excited. The flying shuttle instantly extended 2 metallic drills that penetrated the gigantic claw, excavating the flesh and blood that had been petrified into this form, analyzing the remnant DNA. Very soon after, there was a result. Primitive life form from Earth, a saber-toothed tiger. Its fossil history is about 201,280 years. Impossible. How can a saber-toothed tiger grow so large? This is merely a primitive ordinary life form and not even a transcendent life form. This is simply a miracle of biology. The people here started to exclaim in shock. There is nothing impossible about this, said Zhao Yui, her eyes gleamed with the light of intelligence. If I'm not mistaken, this should be a demon. A demon? The others were instantly shocked when they heard this. Do you mean the Eastern myths where animals and plants could cultivate and achieve a demonic form? That's right. Zhao Yui spoke in a low voice. Sut, the mythology paths you guys are on belong to the Western civilizations of Earth. You are not that familiar with the cultivation system of our Eastern civilizations. There are many demonic cultivation techniques that can allow normal beasts to transcend the power of their base forms, allowing them to evolve with countless possibilities. Oh. The others nodded after they heard that. Quickly look. Another exclamation rang out, drawing the attention of everyone. In the holographic image, another gigantic bone floated over. There were many joints and the shape resembled a huge snake. However, its upper body was that of a human. It was also shattered in many places and clearly riddled with injuries like it had suffered the brunt of attacks that resulted in numerous holes. What demon is this? What a strange appearance. Is this a snake demon? But why is its upper body that of a human? Is this a demonic human? Countless speculations rang out. Zhao Yui's eyes gleamed before she spoke. No, this is a demonic snake that is in the midst of human transformation, but it was killed before it could complete the transformation. She was from the Wudong planet, a planet with many ancient inheritances. Their knowledge of Huaxia mythology should be among the most complete ones. Everyone was convinced. After they had collected this sample of a snake demon and made a record, they continued heading deeper into the ruins. There were countless meteorites in weird shapes, including weapons and buildings among other things here in this place. It felt like the ruins that had been forgotten for millions of years. They could see traces of civilization everywhere. What is this place? Feng Lin asked in a low voice. This place is known as the Star System Ruins. Zhao Yui didn't hide anything. We also discovered this place by luck. According to the deduction of the AI, this place used to be a star system as well, yet it encountered inevitable calamity that caused everything to be destroyed, becoming civilization ruins. The civilization here should be that of ancient demons. The Dustfall Immortal Pill was also found here. A demon race's civilization? Feng Lin silently mused, his gaze staring at the holographic image. A skeleton of a 1,000-foot giant appeared in the scan. The bones were clearly extremely sturdy, and there was a 500-meter-long giant python with a horn on its head coiled around the skeleton. A desolate and bleak aura drifted over, filled with barbaric violence. It had the feeling of wanting to fight against the heavens and earth and wouldn't stop until one party died. This aura didn't dissipate despite the tribulations of time. Feng Lin closed his eyes as he sensed the aura. His spirit sense was incomparably sharp. He analyzed the base nature of this aura and suddenly opened his eyes as a bright light gleamed within. This isn't demonic qi, it is shaman force. Feng Lin spoke in a low voice, if I'm not mistaken, this place isn't the ruins of the demon race's civilization. It is a battlefield where shamans and demons fought each other. Chapter 328, Battlefield of Shamans and Demons. A battlefield of shamans and demons? A stone gave rise to 1,000 ripples. The moment Feng Lin spoke, waves of emotions rose in the hearts of everyone. The conjecture of a demon race's civilization was Zhao Yui's conclusion. But this Feng Lin merely cast a glance and refuted it. Although your medicinal refinement techniques are excellent, how could your attainments in mythology be deep? He is just an elite cultivator anyway. They didn't really believe Feng Lin. But because they needed Feng Lin to concoct medicinal crystals for them, no one said anything. But their attitudes of disbelief were extremely evident. However, Zhao Yui sank into ponderment. She seemed to have thought of something and turned to glance at Feng Lin. How did you come to this conclusion? Feng Lin laughed softly. Demons appeared because wild beasts and plants cultivated and achieved their Tao, transforming into humans. This is merely their system of cultivation. As for the shaman race, things are different. They are true humans. In ancient times, humans were incomparably weak and had to fight for everything themselves, to seize whatever they needed. They offered sacrifices to the heavens and their ancestors. They were wizards of nature and had tamed many wild beasts while absorbing the essence of heavens and earth to improve their own body, causing many miraculous changes to occur. Their forms might be similar to deities or devils and had similarities to the demons. If one doesn't look closely, it is very easy to be confused. But between demons and shamans, one could transform into a human by cultivating while the other had to tame wild beasts to prevent them from harming humans. They were born mortal enemies, resulting in many great wars between the two races to occur in ancient times. Look at the gigantic python coiled around the giant. Although it seemed to be a fusion of the two, it is actually a genuine shaman's body. Moreover, there are traces of fighting everywhere in the ruins. From my perspective, this wasn't caused by a calamity but by a war between the shamans and demons. The aftermath of their battle shattered the star system. He calmly spoke, sharing his analysis backed up by logic. Everyone exchanged glances, feeling extremely astonished. Their hearts calmed down as they pondered over his words. They discovered that Feng Lin's words had a very high possibility of being true. Very soon, the flying shuttle extended the drills and began to harvest the DNA of the giant skeleton while beginning analysis. A few moments later, it was discovered that this was truly the DNA of an ancient human. Although the interstellar humans had many different types of genes, there were still similarities among them and ancient humans. This undoubtedly proved that Feng Lin's conjecture was correct. Amazing. I didn't expect Master to have such profound attainments in mythology. After the results were verified, the expressions of everyone changed. They didn't dare to underestimate Feng Lin anymore and adjusted their mental states to treat him as an equal. A battlefield between shamans and demons? Sut silently pondered. After that, he grew excited. Great Wall, number A3, maximize the scanning system and scan for traces of battle in this ruins. Try to restore the original appearance of the battlefield. Yes, Captain. The flying shuttle vibrated as countless probes extended toward the surroundings, sending out formless radiation that became frequency fluctuation. No matter how small the traces were, it was hard to avoid its probes. Sizzle. Streams of data flooded the holographic image. Numerical characters flickered, causing one to feel their head spinning if they stared at it. The scanned images were displayed one after another. Traces of burnt marks by fire, impact from energy attacks, scars left behind by weaponry, everything was displayed. The AI began to use its vast computing power to restore the direction of attacks, the scars of force usage. It recorded everything and began to analyze it. The skeletal remains were restored to their most likely appearances before their death. A green-faced, fanged monster with a tiger head, a giant wielding a red snake, three-tailed demon cat. The skeletal remains were restored one by one. The restored forms were all extremely lifelike, as though these creatures had come from the primordial era to the interstellar era. The science and technology of the interstellar era reached an unprecedented height. There was at least a 70% to 80% likeness for the restored forms. Feng Lin, Zhao Yue, and the others silently waited for the results. Ding, ding, ding. The AI's light flickered. After 2 hours and 37 minutes, the results were finally out. The restoration of the battlefield is completed. Do you want to take a look? The AI asked. Do it. Sut didn't hesitate. At the next instant, the light radiating from the flying shuttle completely dimmed, leaving them in darkness. A holographic scene then started to manifest, stars began to appear in the darkness around them. It was like they were now in outer space. Boom, boom, boom. Rumbling explosive sounds rang out ceaselessly. Numerous savage and terrifying figures appeared. They were all from the ancient era. On one side, the howls of wild beasts could be heard relentlessly. Numerous human-like figures that were tall and imposing could be seen. However, their eyes shone with inhuman cruelty and cold-bloodedness. There were also many vestiges of wild beasts that could be seen on their bodies. On the other side, numerous gigantic figures appeared. Their bodies were full of totem tattoos, and there were all sorts of weapons. They roared loudly, their voices traveling afar, exuding a unique rhythm. Was this a scene where ancient human ancestors fought against the demon race? Feng Lin and the others couldn't help but hold their breaths. The demon race was extremely barbaric. They took on human forms by cultivating as a wild beast and were the most primitive tyrants in the world. As for humans, they had to slowly explore the path of cultivation. Their knowledge was formed from accumulations of previous generations. Finally, they subdued the demons and became the lords of the world. As the holographic scenes grew clearer, the secrets of the ancient battle were shown before them. Everyone held their breaths, not even daring to breathe. Swish, swish, swish. Arrows fell like rain, with the speed and force of a shooting star. Three-legged golden crows howled in the air. They were like falling suns, cascading down waves of fire and wanting to burn the entire world into ashes. Demonic humans with snakes on both their arms rose from the water, causing huge waves to rise, wanting to drown out the flames. Ice phoenixes flapped their wings, manifesting icy rain as a storm of frost manifested. It froze the waves of water into ice mountains. Roar. Howl. Both sides went at each other with no mercy. Neither could live if the other survived. Fresh blood splashed through the air as the flames of war ruled the day. What a great massacre! Both sides had people that were akin to the existence of gods and devils, their power seemed boundlessly vast. On one side, there were over 10,000-foot giants with dragons, flood dragons, snakes, all sorts of malevolent creatures as their weapons. These shamans caused violent winds, chill frost, angry thunder, blasting at their enemies. On the other side, the demons howled as their demonic chi towered up into the sky, causing a screen of darkness that blotted out the sun. The golden crows burned with fire, spiraling around in the air. The Xian tortoises had icy mountains on their backs, their limbs were as thick as pillars, and every step they took caused the ground to crack. Countless lives were stomped into dust. There were also numerous enraged apes wielding metal cudgels, baring their fangs as they rushed the shamans. These two races fought for the lordship of this world, conducting a massacre that would never stop until one side was completely annihilated. Boundless waves of destructive might collided, forming aftershocks that dispersed outwards. Everywhere the aftershocks passed by, mass destruction followed. The battle between shamans and demons destroyed the heavens and earth. Kacha, Kacha. Feng Lin and the others opened their eyes wide. To their astonishment, they discovered that the ground began to tremble as the cracks widened, transforming into countless pieces of debris that scattered, revealing the shadowless dark void right at the very bottom. A large piece of land fell below. So it turned out that this universe ruins wasn't caused by the destruction of the star system. Rather, it was caused by the destruction of a giant floating continent. Chapter 329, Mythological Archaeology, 1. Continent, an entire continent. This universe ruins was actually formed because of the fragmentation of a floating continent. This was something no one expected. A floating continent in space? What logic is this? This isn't scientific at all. Everyone furrowed their brows, but they weren't able to make any sense out of it. There were simply too many secrets in ancient mythology civilizations. They were poles apart from interstellar science, and it was very hard to fathom anything. The AI could only scan the traces of the surroundings to restore a likeness of the battlefield. Most of it was from its analysis, thus, it wasn't 100% accurate. The scene before their eyes were merely a simulation of the battlefield. The truth of ancient mythology civilization had long since been lost to the river of time. Therefore, everything still needed to depend on them spending vast amounts of time to explore and piece their findings bit by bit together, before they would be able to see the full picture. Everyone quietly continued watching. In the scene, the battle between the shamans and demons continued. In truth, what they saw was only the beginning. This battle lasted a long time and was incredibly intense, far surpassing their imaginations. The power levels here could destroy the heavens and earth and cause the stars to turn dark, even flipping the sun and the moon. The aftershocks of the battle spread out, causing devastation everywhere. The ancient shamans formed military formations, and their movements were adjusted to uniformity. Each of them was as large as a mountain. They wanted to crush their enemies thoroughly. Their large bodies contained black-colored totem tattoos that shone with demonic light. There were all sorts of strange totems, including a giant eye, a mountain, snakes and dragons. All of them exuded an ancient air that was filled with violence. They wielded beast bones from the various demon races, forging the bones into their weapons. They smashed their weapons down heavily, with enough force to cause mountains to crumble. The shamans rushed out, their numbers seemed endless like ferocious tides of the ocean. Blazing flames, torrents of water, the trembling of the earth and mountains, their attacks flowed forth endlessly. On the other side, the demon race's army exuded an overbearing feel of menace. Leopards, wolves, tigers, and panthers rushed onto the ground, phoenixes, peacocks, and nine-headed birds flew through the air. Demonic chi towered up into the sky, forming dark clouds that blotted the sun, casting the world into darkness. One wouldn't even be able to see their 5 fingers if they stretched their hands out. The shamans and demons participated in an orgy of slaughter to deal maximum damage to the opposing side. There was no strategy at all, just stark naked slaughter. Either you die or I die. It was unknown how long this battle lasted. Even though the AI sped things up, it still took them 6 hours to view everything. After countless casualties on both sides, they decided to retreat, understanding that it was impossible to completely defeat the other party. In any case, the war between shamans and demons existed since the very beginning. It was unknown how many tens of thousands of years had it been. Feng Lin and the others understood that what they were seeing was merely a battle between the two races in a particular war. In the holographic image, both the shamans and demons retreated, settling the aftermath. The shamans carefully collected the corpses of their comrades, but the demons directly ate the dead bodies of their kind. When Feng Lin saw this, he silently mused. No wonder during ancient times, the weak humans were able to stand tall and defeat the demon race, becoming the lords of the world. The gathering force born from caring for comrades wasn't something the demon race could compare to. Although the demon race was powerful and was the tyrant during the primordial era, there were many different races within the demon race. They fought for themselves and couldn't unite at all, akin to a pile of loose sand. How could they not lose? History had proven that the victors were humans. They became the lords of the world. The scene gradually darkened. Everyone thought that the restored battlefield's holographic scenes were going to end, but all of a sudden, everything turned black. The sun, moon, and stars lost their luster, everything was in complete darkness. Has things ended? No, something is wrong. This darkness persisted even after a long time. Quickly look. An exclamation rang out. Feng Lin and the others turned over only to see a gigantic mouth chomping down, swallowing the continent along with the shamans and demons. Creak, creak. Unbearable creaking noises rang out. The continent was being chewed into rock fragments before being spat out and scattered all around. Of the remaining continent that wasn't chomped off, the traces of the bite marks could be seen at the edge. The scene suddenly stopped. Light appeared once more, but everyone was still stunned, unable to break free from their daze. What the hell was that? Everyone exchanged glances, fear and shock were evident in their eyes. That gigantic mouth of darkness was too terrifying. It felt like the apocalypse had come. Even though they were merely watching an ancient scene through holographic technology, their hearts were drowned in despair just by seeing it. It was unknown how long had it been before they finally drew a deep breath and returned to their senses. There were simply too many secrets hidden in ancient mythological civilizations. This was just the tip of the iceberg, yet it was enough to cause all of them to be stunned. Everyone, let's act. At this moment, Zhao Yu calmly spoke. Sut and the others all nodded after they heard that. Right. Tiny probes were sent out by the flying shuttle to the surroundings. The shuttle's door opened as ant-like robots appeared. The robots then began to harvest the skeletons, bones, rocks, fossils here, moving them back to the shuttle. A large item is about to enter, stated Sut. He gave the command to open the shuttle's door wider. A fossil as large as a pillar was being moved in. There were intricate swirling patterns engraved on it, and its end was a tip, exuding an ancient aura. Zhao Yue, Sut, and the others also personally acted, heading over to study the pillar. They were like researching the meaning of the swirling patterns, which seemed to be some ancient characters. The first used a soft brush to clean the dirt away, revealing the original patterns. After that, they used their microchips to scan it, recording the information before they cut a part of it, storing it in a test tube with a solution within to preserve it for a long time. This set of procedures seemed complex, but it wasn't random. They were following a methodological operation order. Zhao Yue, Sut, and the others seemed to be extremely familiar with this. Clearly, it wasn't their first time doing this. Even the dark-skinned, burly iron pillar also acted. His movements were very smooth as well, giving off a strange sense of beauty like a giant doing embroidery work. Feng Lin watched at the side as he commented in a low voice, "What are you all doing?" "Oh, Feng Lin's school has not officially started, right? No wonder you don't know what these are." Zhao Yue was startled for a moment before she smiled. This is mythological archaeology, every student must learn this subject. Ancient mythological civilization has been lost for a very long time, and we have to explore ancient mythological ruins to do the research. Only by doing so can we find valuable items and gradually restore the truth about ancient mythology. This is the interstellar discipline formed by combining archaeology and mythology, mythological archaeology. The mythological gene systems we are currently cultivating are slowly being built up as well. Sadly, 3,000 years were simply too short. Ancient civilizations have long explored places outside of the Milky Way galaxy, probing the boundlessly vast universe. What we have now is merely the frame. There is still a very long path ahead of us. She then sighed and continued with her work. Mythological archaeology? Feng Lin nodded silently. From a ruin where there was nothing, how difficult must it be to restore the mythological gene system? How many generations must put in the effort for something like this to be established today? Mythological archaeology had been developed for many years. It was undoubtedly a very profound field of study. Feng Lin seriously began to observe as he took notes in his heart, trying to learn from them. Another large item. The door to the cabin opened wide as a skeletal fossil was being moved in. This was the skeleton of a giant bird of about 100 meters. It actually had 9 necks, but its heads had long since disappeared. There were many cracks on this skeleton. It seemed like the person who killed it had instantly slashed off all 9 heads in one shot. What monster is this? Sut and the other Westerners completely didn't recognize it. There are also 9-headed monsters such as hydras in Western mythology, but I've never heard of a giant 9-headed bird before. Zhao Yui, this is a battlefield of the shamans and demons, and your Wudong planet has the most perfect preservation of Huaxia mythology. You should be able to identify this monster, right? Zhao Yui furrowed her brows in thought as she studied the skeleton. She was filled with perplexity. Only after a long time did she speak, if I'm not mistaken. This should be the corpse of the 9-headed bird who is also known as the 9 Winds. Oh. Sut and the others nodded in praise. As expected of Zhao Yui, she even knew such remote mythological knowledge. Wrong. Although this is a 9-headed bird, it isn't the 9 Winds, rather, it is a ubium. Chapter 330, Mythological Archaeology, 2. 9-headed bird but not the 9-wind, it was the ubium instead. What did this mean? Feng Lin gave an answer that vetoed Zhao Yui, but he didn't completely deny her answer. Zhao Yui revealed a pondering look as she sincerely spoke. Feng Lin, what do you mean? I do feel that this bird skeleton is somewhat strange. Although it has 9 heads, it doesn't have the auspicious aura of the 9 winds. Rather, it exuded a faint gloomy and ghost-like aura. Although Feng Lin's cultivation base and experiences were far inferior to hers, her attitude was extremely proper. Her tone held a hint of seeking guidance when she asked him. This type of pure Tao heart wasn't something everyone could have. Every time Feng Lin saw this, he was filled with praises. He didn't put on any airs of superiority as well and honestly replied to her. Senior Sister Zhao, this is considered a very remote branch of knowledge in Huaxia mythology. It's very normal that you don't know this. The Huaxia mythology system is vast and profound. There are many branches and flows, including different things with the same name. The term 9-headed bird is just a simple term for it due to the special characteristics of this species. It wasn't able to fully express the nature of the biological creature. For example, the 9-headed hydras of the West and the 8-headed Yamata no Orochi of Japan. The 9-headed birds of Huaxia could be classified into 2 types. One is 9 winds, the other is ubium. What differences are there between the 2? Seeing that a brand new piece of knowledge that touched on Eastern Huaxia mythology was being shared, even Sut and the others who weren't walking on Eastern mythological paths also felt interested. Mythology knowledge touched on the root of cultivation, so knowledge was priceless. Cultivators would never miss out on a chance to gain more mythological knowledge. Feng Lin didn't really care about such common knowledge. Also, he intentionally shared genuine information to astonish the rest. By doing so, when they arrived at the secret realm later, he might have increased authority. From the start to the end, he had always presented himself as a lone entity, not part of Zhao Yui's group. Nine Winds and Ubium were both nine-headed biological creatures, but their base natures were extremely different. Nine Winds have the character of phoenix in their name. They are a kind of phoenix and are an extremely noble existence that shares equal fame with true dragons in the ancient era. Ubiums are different, they are ghostly females that transformed into nine-headed birds. Their nine-headed bird bodies are just the form of a monster, and they are considered corpses, an entity that is half ghost and half demon. They like to feast on humans and are considered one of the evilest types of existences. Feng Lin summarized. If you don't believe me, you can try and sense the aura of the skeleton closely. You should be able to sense a vengeful aura that is exceedingly hard to disperse, lasting from ancient times till now. Sut and the others had a look of half-belief and half-doubting on their faces. They immediately reacted after they heard that. The bird skeleton exuded a rotting aura. But when one sensed this aura to the deepest part, they could feel an intense vengeful feeling. Despite the passage of millions of years, it didn't dissipate much. Just by coming into contact with it slightly would cause chills to rise in one's heart, and they would feel extremely uneasy like they had fallen into a hell of endless pain. Wu Li. Ah! Shrill voices of women cried out, causing disturbance to one's state of mind. Sut and the others repeatedly stepped back as they perspired. Ubium ghost bird. AI quickly record this. Sut commanded, getting the AI to record this valuable mythological knowledge. After understanding that Feng Lin's words were true, not only did the shock in the hearts of everyone vanish, but on the contrary, they felt marvel in their hearts. Mythological knowledge was supreme. Cultivation resources might be valuable, but as long as one paid a sufficient price, they would still be obtainable given the boundlessness of the universe. But mythological civilizations had already been lost to time. This was an irreversible past. What's gone is gone. If they couldn't even find any traces of it, it would be hard to restore their knowledge even if they had forever. Hence, every bit of mythological knowledge might seem insignificant, but they were incomparably precious. Many little things added up into something great, grains of sand gathered together would eventually form a mountain. In truth, the basis for current cultivation was constructed precisely just like that. How does this Feng Lin cultivate? He is just a tiny elite cultivator, but not only is his ability to refine medicine strong, he even knows so much mythological knowledge. Given his knowledge and accumulations in cultivation, he would break through to the adept or even the elite adept level sooner or later. At the very least, the adept realm would be of no problem to him. It is just that he is currently just at the elite cultivator realm. This was simply not scientific nor genetic at all. They couldn't understand this. They only felt that Feng Lin was shrouded in mystery, not allowing anyone to see through him. How would they know that Feng Lin traversed time and was reborn here? He had just cultivated for an extremely short period, roughly about half a year. Time was just too short. No matter how much his accumulations were, it was very hard for him to level up so quickly. And while everyone was still in awe and shock, the flying shuttle continued to harvest the ancient skeletons and fossils. Very soon, the AI reported, "Captain, another snake-type fossil has been found." The door opened and a giant snake skeleton, of about 1,000 meters long, was displayed before them after it was disinfected by high temperature and radiation. There were numerous joints on the snake bones, each of them as large as a bull. Below its abdomen, there were actually 2 sets of eagle-like talons. It looked extremely strange. What life form is this? Before they could lose themselves in shock over the earlier incident, another strange object was found. Sut and the others were completely confused. They couldn't help but glance toward Zhao Yui and Feng Lin. Evidently, they understood that in terms of mythology knowledge, no one present here was able to hold a candle to the two of them. Zhao Yui pondered for some time before she stated with some hesitation, "Could this be a flood dragon?" "No, this is a kue." Feng Lin's eyes gleamed as he surveyed the fossil. He spoke with a calm tone. Clearly, he was convinced. What is a kuei? This was another new piece of mythology knowledge. Everyone couldn't help but ask hurriedly. Kuei takes 500 years to become a flood dragon. A flood dragon takes 1,000 years to become a horned dragon and another 1,000 years to become a winged dragon. Kueis don't have horns, they have the tail of a venomous snake and have not fully evolved into a type of dragon. They can be considered the embryonic forms of dragons and are also known as little dragons. This involved the true nature of dragons. This knowledge was incomparably valuable. Feng Lin didn't reveal much, just simply summarizing everything. He didn't mention the more critical information about cultivating to become a divine dragon. But even so, this knowledge was enough to stun everyone. They exchanged mutual glances and revealed hints of greed in their gazes. Under such great temptation, some people here already had some ill intents regarding Feng Lin. Zhao Yui sensed their intents. She silently moved nearer and stood before Feng Lin, shielding him from the gazes of others. Only then did these people tamp down their evil thoughts. One must note that each student of a Cosmos University was a peak genius of humanity. They were selected through many trials and were treasures among treasures. It would be a great loss to humanity even if one of them died. This was why the Great Wall University had called a military tribunal regarding the incident of the Great Qin flying shuttle back then. This Feng Lin was already a student of the Great Wall University and his information was already recorded in the school's files. Once something happened to the students, the university would surely investigate. It would be hard to mask things. Feng Lin also faintly sensed the change in atmosphere. He grew more vigilant in his heart. Although he only revealed some of the most shallow knowledge, it seemed that it still made him too conspicuous. The human heart was treacherous, he had to be on his guard. Cultivation knowledge was critical to cultivation. It seemed that his actions earlier were still too impetuous. After realizing this, Feng Lin started to avoid giving out more information. When new fossils were discovered, he merely spoke ambiguously, no longer as detailed as before. But even so, his casual words caused the people present to benefit from it. The flying shuttle continued harvesting while flying. All of a sudden, it trembled and came to a stop. Zhao Yui glanced outwards as a smile appeared on her face. Look, we have arrived. This is the location we were talking about, the place where the Dustfall Immortal Pill was found. Feng Lin, if it wasn't for your help, we wouldn't be able to reach here so quickly. The mythological secret realm? Feng Lin grew excited. He walked to the window and glanced outwards. A moment later, he was completely stunned. In his vision, a gigantic beast bone as large as an entire planet was floating in space, seemingly unchanged for all eternity. It was like a gigantic continent floating in outer space.